If you thought what you'd seen of Ironheart what's happening to me? This is yellow. It's not green. It's yellow. Wow. I'm vanishing quicker than a potential Ironheart audience. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface, and today I'm actually wearing the Ironheart of t-shirts for when you're creating a video. You see, I'm kind of liking this t-shirt how I see the writer's room of the show. No bad decisions were made. They sat there and everybody was validated. Every decision was okayed. Nothing was ever challenged, and the room was full of toxic positivity, even if it's not the right fit for what's going on behind you, which in my case is a green screen. But in the case of the show, it was the writing, the plot, the characters, the script, the premise, and everything else that just never fit. So if you think I'm going to have any level of professionalism when it comes to doing an Ironheart review, then I'm afraid you're sadly mistaken. So episode 3 starts off with Riri being her true, authentic self. A greedy bint relishing and reveling in the money that's being showered down upon her because this is the most important thing in her life, the accumulation of wealth. We finally get to see her in a true form, not pretending to have any morals, not pretending to have any concern. This right here is what it's all about. Ladies and gentlemen, your Marvel superhero. So I just immediately have a question. In what mind, writers, did any of you think that this was a character that anybody was going to like? Hanging around with a DIE Scooby gang. What's there to like here? Greedy, selfish, narcissistical, self-centered. Oh, sorry. I just realized I'd actually just reeled off all the qualities of the people who actually worked on the show. And we all know that the only reason why this exists was this was Marvel's attempt at de-whitening their Marvel universe, getting rid of all the white male characters and giving them stunning and brave DEI replacements, derivative pieces of shit. And yet, here we are. Because I heard some race baiter the other day cry, "Oh my God, look at all these racists talking about Ironheart. Black people, we just can't get a break." No, you can't get a break, can you? I mean, this is only on Disney, one of the biggest corporations in the world, certainly in the entertainment sphere. It has all the writers that it wants in place, all the showrunners that it wants in place, all the actors that it wants in place, all the money that it wants in place, this costing $100 to $150 million to make. You had every opportunity to do something, and what did you do? Our superhero woman that's a derivative of Iron Man is a greedy, narcissistical, self-centered pig. So ask you the question, as I've asked many questions over the course of these first 3 episodes, with you having every single solitary thing in your favor, who really is to blame for this? The audience that have to watch this absolute slop, or the people that had every chance to make something amazing, inspirational, fun, exciting? Let's just have a thinky poo, shall we? Also, I decided to change out of my see-through t-shirt. I thought that joke was wearing thin. So I'm still trying to get my head around this because Disney, of course, are fully entrenched in all of this DEI, ESG crap. You know, we must just have superficial representation on screen at all times. Nobody appears, though, to have said, shouldn't we be doing them in a positive light? What do you mean, says Disney? Well, you see, in Ironheart, all the drag representation, a man pretending to be a woman, the trans representation, a woman pretending to be a man, all the ethnically diverse characters, they're all criminals. Every one of them. They're all degenerate criminals and murderers and thieves and extortionists. Don't you think that's actually not giving the right message that we want to convey? Hey, be tolerant of these murderers and thieves and extortionists and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then, of course, you'll get the absolute brain-dead idiots online that are just going, oh my God, you're so racist, and you're so sexist, and you're so homophobic, and you're so bigoted. Why? That we didn't like the criminals? That we didn't like... Sorry. To the person who's complaining, why are you expecting me to say positive things about the criminals? The people that are stealing off people, the people that are murdering other people, the people that are extorting and blackmailing. Well, sorry, so why am I meant to actually give positivity about them just because of the color of their skin or their ethnicity or their orientation? So, sorry, can you explain that, please? Well, somebody tried to do that to me. They sent me an email, and all it was a barrage of anti-Semitic nonsense. I'm not even Jewish. But again, Disney, I guess that's the type of audience and the type of culture that you want to cultivate, is it? Because right now, you ain't got a fucking clue what you're doing, and your DEI representation just going anywhere that it can possibly be just makes it look stupid. It's like sticking rocket launchers on a wheelchair and saying, hey, don't be scared of disabled people, even though they will blow you up. Doctor Who. Then they do a round table of what you're going to do with all your extorted criminal gains. And the drag queen says, I'm going to open up a Michelin-starred restaurant. Yeah, sure, whatever, sweetheart. And then this classic clown says, I'm going to open up a school for kids. Oh, does she have a heart of gold? No, so I can launder all of my criminal money and use kids as a shield. But I'm black, and ergo you're meant to like me according to the rules of ESG and DEI. And so if you criticize me, then you get people from the far left crying like fucking babies because you're, mama, look at the racist white boy, look at the racist white boy. And then the two, Tweedledum and Tweedle wishes they had a D. They said, oh, we're going to open up a fight club. Oh yeah, that's a great thing to do with your illicit money. And of course, Ironheart is just saying, I'm going to stick it all back into the suit because that's the only thing that matters to me. I don't mind breaking the law. I don't mind being a criminal. I don't mind getting all of this money through doing these hideous things, people getting shot, people getting extorted, people probably signing their souls away to Mephisto. Don't worry about any of that. As long as I'm all right, Jack, because I'm a selfish, self-centered, narcissistical bint. The funniest thing being said here that Riri says, I want to earn enough money so I can quit doing crime. So you know full well what you're doing. You're absolutely 100% self-aware. Not that we didn't know that, but she's admitting it for everybody to hear. So there's no confusion. She 100% understands that what she's doing is illegal and wrong and shady, and she doesn't care as long as she gets paid. Yo, Marvel superhero, everybody. So Clown breaks into the vault of Parker and takes his cloak, his hood, and she's wearing it, and she's like, oh, wait a minute, takes it off and says, this is really hot. Not in a cool way, but in a theoretical physics way. Who wrote this shit? Oh, we know who wrote this shit. John comes up behind Clown, smacks their head into the table, grabs the cloak off them, says, how dare you touch Parker's cloak? And then Ironheart gets in his face. And when I say gets in his face, I mean the top of her head comes up to about his nipples because she's a tiny little girl. And he says, what are you going to do about it, little girl? You can't be intimidating when you're 4'1" and 15 pounds soaking wet. It doesn't work. But of course, the writers have to put it in to make it look as if she's ballsy, but it just makes her look fucking stupid because it's the suit that's the equalizer for her, not her tiny little frame. But there again, probably, and let's just be honest, horribly miscast. Not that anyone likes the character anyway, and this whole thing is another exercise in how DEI and ESG, and I'm going to say this all fucking video long, is a waste of money, because when you're concerned purely about the superficial, the color of your skin, your ethnicity, your sexual orientation, you don't even think about quality and developing character and story and plot and things that actually matter and allow everybody from all walks of life to gravitate towards. No. As long as you stick in your token characters, you can pat yourself on the back and go, aren't I a good little progressive twat? Wow. Look how intimidating that must be. Holy cow, I bet John is quaking in his boots right now. So they get together to discuss their next target, who, you're never going to believe this, it's another white person. I know, crazy, huh? A homegrown Chicago resident that has been using technology and experimenting on antique seeds, whatever the fuck that is meant to mean, which is yielding lots of food. But again, their justification is his hard work is driving other farmers out of business, and therefore we're going to take his money and get rich off him. They're fucking retarded. Everything about this is retarded. So the security of his biological base or whatever means that they can't bring any metal into the ground. So they can't use the knives. John can't use those. They can't use their explosives and bombs. They can't use the Ironheart suit because, you know, it's made out of 79 Buick parts or whatever. And then Parker goes, why does a bunch of good-looking people look so pitiful? Hey, Parker, I don't know if the suit is affecting your eyes, because I know you've been saying this a few times now. Oh, you're so good-looking, pretty, everyone's so gorgeous. No, they're a bunch of fugly wankers, mate. A bunch of fugly fucking wankers. I just want to clarify that. And my eyesight's not... Look, here, look, I'm going to put my glasses on. Right, I'm having another look. Yep, definitely fugly wank tossers. Okay. All right, good stuff. Okay. Just wanted to clear that up, mate, because you seem to be, you know, should have gone to Specsavers. Go waste your money, says Parker. Everybody go out and spend frivolously, and then we'll all come back together and deal with another rich asshole. A self-made Chicago man who used technology and seeds to create great food crops to feed people has been reduced to a rich arsehole. Probably because he's white as well. Let's just be honest. Probably because he's fucking white as well. Anyway, I don't know anything about this actor, and I'm sure he's a lovely guy. This is nothing personal, but were you baked for the whole of the filming of this? Because every time you're on screen delivering, you just seem absolutely stoned off your tits. I mean, fair play if you are. 2 thumbs up. You do you. Hashtag 420 or whatever. But every time he's just comes across as absolutely battered out of his tits. Okay, maybe it's a coping mechanism to be on this show. I don't know. Now, this next bit is probably the most telling piece about Riri Williams completely in the show to date, because it'll get much worse later on. But she says to Parker, "Can I have a word with you in private?" And he says, "Okay." And she says to him, "Hey, are we Ocean's 11 or The Sopranos?" And by that, she's saying, with Ocean's 11, are we stealing for the right reasons, inverted commas, or are we The Sopranos, we're mobsters, we're gangsters, blah, blah, blah. It's all self-ingratiating. By the way, she's already taken at least 2 paydays from Parker so far. And to me, it's just like, wait a minute. You think your stealing from these people is justified? You legitimately think stealing from these rich assholes in your eyes is justified? This comedy, I mean, it is comedy. This commie fucking bollocks of, because these people are richer than me, I deserve their money bullshit, which is infesting a lot of society today, because it's not really communism. Do you know what it is? It's fucking laziness. It's bone idle laziness. People not wanting to fucking do shit for shit. They just want to sit on the fat asses and get a fucking handout. That's all it is. And they'll go, yeah, sure, I'm a socialist or a commie or a Marxist. Yeah. No, it's just I'm a lazy twat. I'm just a lazy twat that doesn't actually want to contribute to society. I don't want to do anything. I just want to get things given to me. Give. Because that's what it truly is. And Riri Williams is a prime example of that. I don't want to earn my money. I've had every benefit afforded to me. I've had the ear and the technology of Wakanda. I've had 4 years of free ride at MIT. I've had a course tailored for me specifically to try and help me. And I've thrown it all in everybody's faces because I'm a selfish, narcissistical cow. Now, Parker, I know this stealing is fine for us because we're morally bankrupt pieces of shit, but I'm going to try and justify it by saying, are we The Sopranos or are we Ocean's 11? Oh, shut your fucking mouth. What a piece of shit character Riri Williams is. And you wonder why this has been over 2.5 years rotting. You earned it, Disney. You earned it. I'm not doing this because I'm a criminal, says Riri Williams. I'm doing it because I have to. That's a direct quote, by the way. And even Parker calls the criminal thief out immediately. You're joking, right? Everyone you're talking about is a criminal. You are a criminal. And she is. No, I'm not, she says. I'm an engineer. What I'm doing is iconic. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the absolute by the numbers book. How you do the origin story of a villain. Because a lot of villains think that they're doing the right thing, but in actual fact, they're not. And the fact that Riri went straight from being expelled at MIT straight into a life of crime where she's already got attempted murder, criminal damage, extortion, blackmail, theft, and a multitude of other felonies under her belt already, about to add murder to that later in this episode, she thinks she's in the right. That's exactly what a villain thinks. She thinks she's doing it for the right reasons. It's okay that I'm breaking the law. It's okay that I'm a criminal. I'm doing it for the right reasons, and therefore I am justified in my actions. That's a fucking villain. We have idiots writing for Marvel, but they tick the right boxes because that's all they care about. They haven't even paid a single fucking bit of attention to what is actually going on screen. Your hero, inverted commas, is nothing but a petty thief, murdering, extorting, blackmailing criminal. And they deserve everything thrown at them. And this show, because they have painted her as the protagonist, are going to do all kinds of mental gymnastics over the next 3 episodes, no doubt, to try and paint her as the hero. And you wonder fucking why nobody gives a shit about your crap anymore. You're all morally bankrupt. So Riri then goes off and spends some money on headphones for Xavier, I don't know, her maybe kind of effeminate-ish boyfriend. And he's kind of skeptical, A, where she got the money to get the headphones because she's broke. And also the headphones that he's wearing that she calls worn out, etc., are actually Natalie's old headphones, so they mean a lot to him. So there's some touchy-feely conversation that I couldn't give a flying fuck about. Anyway, then Joe goes and knocks on the door of Riri's apartment. Her mum answers, looks at him like a piece of shit because he's white and the show's racist, and then says to Riri, "What's a sweaty, middle-aged white boy doing on my doorstep?" Now then, let's reverse everything in this scene. Let's have it be a black character knocking at the door. Let's have it being white characters inside. And let's replace the dialogue of white with black. How do you think that would go down? Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because do you know what? It's rules for thee and not for me. And of course, they all come from the school of you can't be racist against white people. That just allows them to be racist towards white people. But then they'll project and gaslight and say, no, it's you that's racist or something because you're actually being critical and have standards. And oh no, you see how this game goes? Yeah? Oh, it's a fun one, isn't it? Then the show had a moment. It was just like, we're not sure if the audience managed to get that we're really racist against white people. So Riri and Joe are going to go outside the apartment to have a conversation. And we're going to get another black woman come up the stairs and look at Joe like an absolute piece of shit, as if to say, what the hell is this white man doing in this place right here? And Disney are just like, why aren't we managing to secure that audience that we think we're going to get? It's so crazy. We're constantly racist. We're constantly bigoted. We're constantly dividing people politically. Why aren't we getting the audience anymore? I can't put my finger on it. Whatever.
With a box of scraps!
Natalie completely calling Riri out on her bullshit. Even the AI has more self-awareness than this stupid cow. So overnight, Riri then invents a pendant which allows you to project an AI into physical form so that they can be mobile anywhere that you go, doesn't require the suit or any of that kind of business. Hey, Riri, with you inventing shit like this, left, right, and center, I don't know, why don't you patent it and sell it to a tech company for, oh, what's that thing called? It's on the tip of my tongue. I know what it, money! You could be doing all of this without having to resort to criminality. Just inventing, selling. It would be a great way to earn money. You could then put it towards the... Oh. The writers are so dumb. Can dumb people please stop trying to write geniuses? It doesn't fucking work. I can only imagine these murals are of more people that have been gunned down in drive-bys in this local neighborhood. Do you realize why that woman made all those fucking tunnels underground? It was to avoid all this shit. Riri has essentially just created a personal companion for people. You make the AI, you tailor it to whoever you want it to be, fantasy or reality, and then somebody can go around with their best friend. You can call it the best friend. This is $1 billion idea. $1 billion, and she's fucking killing people and extorting and blackmailing for a couple of $1,000s here or there. Oh, fuck it. You're Marvel genius, everybody. Natalie and Riri then go back to Gary's garage, not Beekler, by the way. And Riri has a traumatic memory about when her stepfather and Natalie were gunned down. And her traumatic event actually prevents the AI from functioning. So we can see that it's her trauma that is affecting the AI and causing it to spaz out. Riri, these officers are here from you. At last, her criminal past has caught up with her, and finally, Riri Williams is going to actually get the consequences to her actions. Of course not, it's a Marvel TV show. They're here because Stuart, Eric Andre, has been murdered. And they want to know if Riri knows anything about it because she was the last person to call him. He didn't pick up. So, of course, it looks like Stuart, a.k.a. Rampage, has been killed by the Hood, or John, because they needed him out of the gang, didn't want any loose ends. And this, of course, tips Riri off that the criminal that she's doing criminal activity with, that she's responsible for assault with a deadly weapon, probably attempted murder, that guy might be a little bit sketchy. She's meant to be a genius. Have I mentioned that? She's meant to be a genius. Not a fucking retard. A genius. So Riri wants to get a sample of the cape from the Hood. So she remembers that Joe brought around a bunch of blueprints because he had so many ideas. And she takes one of his blueprints and then Riri Williams it, which I can only assume means make it fucking retarded. No, I'm only kidding. So, invent something. Use that idea and invent something. And hey, presto, she invents something else really quickly that she could patent and sell to a multi-billion-dollar corporation for most likely a shit ton of money instead of fucking hell, this show is so dumb. Riri goes round to Joe's where he's attempting to make some sort of neuro link with a prosthetic and he's done this to himself. and we've got to pretend that that's just completely normal and doesn't really hurt. What? Joe has his father's ashes in a baggie, which Riri drops, and he hoovers it up with a small vacuum cleaner. This is where we discover that he's actually the son of Obadiah. I'm actually Ezekiel, he says to... I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck right now, okay? You've already lost me, so... moving on. My dad actually died trying to kill Tony Stark and not in a plane accident. And I've been trying all my life, trying to be nothing like him. So I became an illicit black market arms dealer. Just like my dad. I can't even. I'm pretty sure that this is what progressives would call a microaggression. So Riri has hidden a laser cutter under the skin mesh, which will protect against the metal detectors so that she can sneak inside and cut a piece of the hood's cloak off so that she can analyze it. She could be at home inventing shit for millions of dollars. Don't worry about it. The tech genius whose greenhouse is out on the bay didn't have the wherewithal to be able to detect a motorboat approaching the facility. Jesus Christ. This is what happens when you have garbage writers. They can't concoct any clever way of infiltration. So they're just like, oh, I don't know. Riri punches a thing and it knocks out the light so they don't see the motorboat. They'd have all kinds of radar systems and mapping systems that would be detecting all kinds of shit going on around. There's suspension of disbelief, and then there's just retardation. And this is bollocks deep in the retardation. This is the most unrealistic thing I've seen on the show so far. Oh, come on. A microaggression for a microaggression. That's fair. Oh, look at this white boy watering his plants. Oh, we should get this colonizing. What is this show, really? Come on. Are you a member of the audience and as retarded as the writers? Then we need to insert a foreign object detection device into the greenhouse so you know what's going on. Apart from the fact that you either detect a foreign object or you don't detect a foreign object, but this has got varying degrees of foreign objects. Ooh, we kind of sensing a foreign object here. Nope, it's gone. Wait a minute, I think I sense a foreign no, it's gone again. Fuck me, this is one of the dumbest fucking things I've seen in the show so far. And I've seen Riri Williams. Isn't Riri Williams and the Hood, who are both now in this room, foreign objects that shouldn't be there? It's not just metal. If you're detecting foreign objects, you're not just a metal detector, you're detecting things that should be there and things that shouldn't be there. So the security guards would have passcodes and stuff like that. So would the tech boss. But people like the Hood and Riri wouldn't. But you would have to think about that for more than a split second instead of just handing in your first draft of diarrhea that you defecated onto the page. And then in your writer's room of a fucking hug box, all went, oh my God, that's fucking amazeballs. Let's go with it. We hear and we do not judge. That's the fucking writer's room. I'd be sat there going, I'm judging the shit out of all of you and this is all window-looking bollocks. Riri is trying to laser off a piece of the cloak so that she can analyze it later. The foreign object meter keeps going, because it's dumb as fuck. The hood is trying to extort the tech boss, but the tech boss is one step ahead of him and says, here, I just got to check for a bunch of money, now fuck off. And Parker's like, well, it's actually not about money, because if you got 2 brain cells, you can work out that he's actually getting them to sign contracts, which are contracts for their soul for Mephisto, which is likely what's giving him his power, etc. That's why he's got to get their name on the dotted line. But this show's just dumb anyway, so what do I fucking care? Watch out while you're trying to laser off that piece of cloak, Riri. The foreign object detection it's wibbly wobbling. Ooh, fuck off, you stupid show. The tech boss refuses to sign the contract, so they start burning the greenhouses, quote, one by one. I'm pretty sure that's going to alert quite a few people. You can turn the fire alarms off all you want, but people are going to see them blazing even from the shore because it's nighttime. It's not as if it's like 5 miles out to sea or anything. Also, there are other guards here in the facility. I don't think they've taken out every single one, as we're going to see later, when the hood goes on a murder rampage, which, of course, Riri is also going to be responsible for because she's part of this criminal organization. But don't worry about it. Don't use your brain. For Christ's sake, the thing that you mustn't do when you're watching this show is use your brain, because then everything falls apart. Ruh-roh! Riri the genius, in her effort to try and laser off a piece of this cloak, has now triggered fully the foreign object detection box of fucking delights. And now everything in the facility is shutting down. This is Riri's fault, by the way, before anything else has happened. And the areas are now filling up with carbon dioxide, and all the oxygen is being expelled. So the crazy gang, and crazy in a mental health way, are all locked in the greenhouses, and they're going to die. Yay! Riri, true to form, just continues to try and get what she wants, because she's just a selfish, narcissistical cow, which is a piece of the hood so she can analyze it later. The hood then goes invisible after the tech guy draws a gun on him and starts to throttle him and kills him. So Riri Williams is now officially a murderer because she's in the same group of criminals where an event has taken place, in this case, a murder, and she's now responsible for that crime too. But it gets better because then all the guards start flooding in and the hood starts killing them left, right, and center. So now Riri Williams is a mass murderer. But that's not good enough because she needs to actually get into the act of murdering. And so she and John are going to throw hands. The trans masculine, whatever it is, thinks that they can get out by punching the inches thick. I give up. Ironheart clearly gets trapped in this tunnel with these sealed metal doors. We all saw it for ourselves. We even got the sound effect just to show that it was really sealing her in. Oh, wait, you could just easily kick it in? The thick sealed metal door you could just kick in? Really? Sure, Jan. So Riri actually hurts her ankle dropping 2.5 feet. I don't even know what the fuck I'm watching anymore. And as she tries to limp to the door and get out, John is on the other side. And he's like, wait a minute, why aren't you in this suit? And then he looks down and he sees that she's holding a part of the torn off hood's cloak. And he realizes that she's a poopy pants. So now that Riri has tripped the alarms, so it doesn't matter if any foreign objects are detected anymore because it's all going off, John, quite correctly, gets out his knives to fight Riri. And she's sort of limping down a very narrow corridor where she can't really bob and weave because it's just full of plants and shit. And instead of John just going, stum, and throwing a knife in her back and killing her, he's just wibbly wobbling his fucking knife around like an idiot because she needs the plot armor, because the current plot armor is flying around the base trying to find a way to save the other people who are dying of excess carbon dioxide. So John suddenly realizes that he can't breathe anymore. And he's like, what's going on? And Riri was like, we're suffocating, because the whole room is just filling up with carbon dioxide. And so they're both on the verge of passing out. But don't worry, the suit comes to save Riri. So the suit covers Riri, and finally she starts getting oxygen and is able to breathe again. And she finally starts to do the right thing for once, and she drags John to safety so he doesn't suffocate himself. But she then has to fly away knowing that the gang are going to be against her. And this is her opportunity to regroup, really take stock of what she's done, and reach out for help because she's in so much trouble. No, she just leaves him to die. She just leaves John to die and joins in on the killing because the AI, of course, was created by Riri's brain. So the AI is responding how Riri would have responded, which was to just fuck off and leave him. So John dies. The Hood begs Riri to fly over the base and try and find John. Please, he begs. She scans his vitals, realizes that he's dead, lands again and says, I'm sorry, I couldn't do anything, he's dead. But it's okay, because she's gotten away with murder, right? She's let him die purposefully, and she's gotten away with murder. So she's all right, Jack, ain't she? No. Because what she's done is just going to come back and bite her in the ass immediately. Firstly, she's having a bit of a panic episode again, and she realizes that the skin graft thing and the laser fell off during the fight with John, and therefore Ezekiel is going to be compromised, and perhaps even she is going to be compromised. But even worse, we cut to Parker, who's screaming at Mephisto. He's not there. He's just screaming into the nether at Mephisto about John dying, and was this part of the plan? And I should have listened to John, and screw you. I'm done with you. And then the image of John dying appears in front of Parker, and he says, why are you showing me this? And then Mephisto shows him something else. He shows Parker that it was Ironheart that was responsible for doing it. So Riri had full control over what to do with John's life, and she chose for him to die in an effort to save her own skin and not be discovered by the rest of the gang. However, mere moments later, it's revealed to the gang that Riri killed John. So how do you feel about that decision, Riri? Making that decision to save your own skin by allowing somebody else to die. Oh, boy. God. I have no freaking clue what the hell we are even watching here, but it sure as hell ain't a show about a hero. So that's the first 3 episodes of Ironheart done and dusted. The next 3 drop on Wednesday of next week, and I'll filter the reviews for 4, 5, and 6 later on that week. But holy hell, what an absolute pile of crap. Until next time, goodbye, Baloo Boo.